Hello, it's me, and one thing you may have noticed about me is I love to complete a series within a collection. Whether it's a series of a certain kind of a puzzle or something that is a certain kind of a modification, but there's something fascinating to me about taking a puzzle that I really enjoy and making it into another shape that looks still pretty fascinating. So before we talked about this, this puzzle over here, what this is this is a shape, this Skewb, I guess. It's a shape modification of simply a pyraminx. Now, I would have preferred if they kept the trivial tips, which they did not, but that's okay. Anyone who knows of a way of getting a trivial tip, let me know. Anyway, so that is this one, and I already went through a tutorial on this. Well, Timur decided to up the ante by designing this binocular skewb, or skewb, well, whichever you call it. This is a cubic version of a master pyraminx. So what I wanted to do was go through what this entails, what the solve strategy suggests, and then of course you've got the trinocular skewb, which is a cubic version of the professor pyraminx. So I really love these kinds of puzzles, and I don't know if they've been demonstrated or solved before. I know I've gone through a solve of these in the past, but I figured I'd go through the strategy with this just in case this becomes mass-produced, and even if it doesn't, it still would be fun. Plus it'll remind me as to how I solved it. How is it different? How is it the same? Well, with the binocular skewb, I wanted to keep the trivial tips because I wanted to maintain the purity of the mod. So this represents this move over here, the trivial tip over here, which means that this move over here represents this move. So these eye areas here, these pieces here, represent these pieces, so these pieces here represent these pieces, while this middle piece here, these long pieces here, represent this. Now this is all one piece. As you can see, these guys here, it's all one piece. 3 colors, one piece. So too, this is one piece over here as well. So that's what this represents, and these represents these pieces over here. Now in the middle, this middle piece here represents this middle piece. So how is the solve strategy when compared to this? So what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and scramble them. First I scramble the trivial tips. I do that because, well, it's fun. It whets your appetite for the solve. Now you can see just how fantastic this moves. And if you're going to mass produce this guy, you got to mass produce this guy too. So I'm going to make a pitch for that one. I'm going to continue to scramble and see if the solve strategy that I have works with this. I'm going to go through the full scramble here with you just so that you can see just how nice this puzzle is. Okay, not bad. Separating these out over here. Bring this across. Okay. Now actually, I think it was incorrect. I called these pieces the middle, but they're not. This actually represents the middle. Okay, so this is a nice scrambled version of it over here. So that's pretty good. And we'll compare that to scrambling the master skewb. Now this is not the mass-produced, master pyraminx rather, this is not the mass-produced version. This is actually an older 3D printed version, which I think was also designed by Timur. Scramble this over here as well. Okay, so that's not bad. So by what strategies will I use for this? First off, this looks so cool when it's scrambled. Okay, pure tetrahedron, pure hexahedron, same puzzle actually. So the first step is of course just putting these in this proper position. I know it doesn't enhance any challenge, but for me it's not so much about the challenge, it's just about the purity of the collection. Same thing here, we'll just turn these into place, builds up our confidence, makes us feel better about ourselves. Okay, so the first step that I have with this is I match these guys together, match these colors together. So I'm going to find all of my greens, which are here. So I'll go like this, and I'll go like this. So these greens are all in, These reds are all in, these whites are all in. So too, I'm going to do the same thing here. Now, to match it up, I'm going to match these guys here. Now notice I had to match three corners. Here I don't, because the thing is, this is the pyramid shape, well, right over here. This is the center, then these represent the tips. So this, here, here, and here represent my pyramidal form, or I can do it like this. So this represents my pyramid. So it's a little easier because I've just got to line up. I think I can scramble this a little bit better. I just have to line up these colors. So, for instance, where's the other green? It's right here. I'll just match these two up. The yellow, where's the other yellow? It's right here. And the other red turned into here. So really, it's very simple to get these guys all matched up with the tips guiding me. The next thing that I do, so I don't end up with some kind of a placement issue, is I want to make sure the centers are where they need to be. So this represents the white center over here, and I got to make sure the blue center's here. If I don't do this now, then I'm going to find myself in a situation where everything is in, but the centers are in an impossibility. So too, I got to get these centers. Now here's one thing that comes out right away. These centers are one color. These centers are three colors. So how does that make this solve more challenging? Or does it? Because it's now like a super pyraminx. But in any case, I want to put the correct center here, which is going to be the orange, green, and yellow, which is right here. So I'm just going to move that into here. So now you can see the center is correct, even the colors are lined up. How about here? Well, here I want the blue, white, and orange. So I'll move that into here. So you can see this is in, the colors, it's rotated wrong, but that's okay. Same thing here, rotated wrong, but that's okay. Now my prediction is if one is rotated in, another one also, well, no, my prediction was wrong. Okay, well no, I guess that makes sense. 2 may be in, or 3 may be in, or they all may be in. Okay, so this is the same configuration in terms of solving. The next step that I do with this solve over here, is I put these guys in, these middle edges here. And this is done exactly the way that I would do a pyraminx. Now when I'm going to do this, it's going to offset the centers, but it doesn't matter as long as I keep the configuration the same. So for instance, if I'm looking for the blue and red piece, blue and red, look for the blue and red, it's right over here. So I want to move this over to here. To do that, I'm going to go down, down, up, up. So this is in over here. This red and green is already in. This green and blue. Say I want to move a green and blue one in here. Here's a green and blue. This is going to come up to here. So it's all a matter of doing down, down, up, ups. So I'm going to move this into here. But I've got to exchange it with the piece that's over here. This is not in the position. This is in a position that's already solved. So is this. So what do I have left to do? Well, this one and this one. So what I'm going to do to move this into place over here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this into this position over here. So that way it can be involved in the exchange. So this will go up, and then across, and then down, and then back. And now this will move down. So in that way, that put this in. So in. Now I'm not going through a detailed tutorial because I've done it before, but basically you do these just the way you do a pyraminx, and you can see that all of these areas are in. Now notice I had to go and look at both colors because there are two colors here. So what do I do about this? Well, I'm going to be putting these colors in, but it's easier because there's just one color. So I don't have to worry about two colors. I don't have to worry about if it's flipped, if it's oriented. So in that way, this is a little easier. And I'm going to do this Skewb style. This is going to come into here. So I'm going to go up, up, down, down. Now in doing this, so this is in, is notice I took these centers out, but again, I'm not worried about that yet because the configuration, it's been configured. So the configuration is the same. So this one is in, this one is in, of this color. Now let's see, this blue one has to come here. So I'm going to bump this out of the way, move this into this position, so I can go turn, 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 turn. And now I can move this back to where it was. So this is in, whoops, try to get away from me. Doesn't want to be solved yet. So all of these are now in. So this configuration is the same as this. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the centers in. Now the center is a very simple algorithm, and what it's going to do is it's going to take this and flip them, which is good, and then it's going to take this and flip these. And I'm always going to have that configuration. If I didn't set it up with the centers first, then I might find 1 in and 3 out, and I won't be able to solve it like that. So to do it, I'm going to put this in front of me. It'll flip these two and flip these two, and that's going to be I guess we'll call that an RU, RI, UI. That's 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so that's going to put the centers in, and that's good. Now, here lies a little bit of a problem, because there's 3 colors here. So I can do that, but is it just going to automatically go where it's supposed to be, in the right orientation? So here's a red, green, and white. So this is in configuration. This is proper, which means everything else has to be in. They're in, but they're rotated wrong, so how do I rotate them correct? Well, to flip them, I would hold it over here and do the same algorithm with this is my R and this is my U. So I got to get them out because they're not rotated correctly. So how am I going to rotate them? So I'm going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, what that did is it flipped these two. So how can I do this? Well, I noticed something. I'm going to flip it again just to see if my theory is correct. This color is facing down. Both of these colors are facing me. When I flip them, how is it going to be oriented? So remember, orange is up here, yellow's here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, that's what I suspected. The same colors are facing me. So what that means is that these, when they flip, these colors are going to be the same. These are going to do pretty much the same thing. So let me get it out again, because I got a theory of what I can do. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. So this is the payoff of this puzzle. This is the difficult part. This is the one that I have to figure out. So what I want to do is this won't get turned if I move this like this. If I move this part like so. When I do this, this blue is going to come down here and this orange is going to come up here. When this blue comes down here and I turn it back, it'll be matched with this blue. And notice this orange is going to transition up here and move right with this. So let's move this over here and we'll transition it again. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Move it back this way. Whoop. This way rather. And it worked. This is rotated correct and this is rotated correct. And uh-oh, this is not and this is not. They're where they should be, but they're not rotated correctly. So what do I do about this? Is this a parity situation? Do I have to do something brand new? Well, when I do my algorithm here and I flip these, I'm not changing the orientation. Even when I turn this, these are not affected at all. But these are, so I should be able to isolate these, do the same thing, and it won't affect this. So let's move this out again the same way. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 3. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this is green here, so I'm going to move this green over. Now notice this is going to match the white, and I should be able to put it in that way. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. This is in, and I simply turn this back, and just like that, the centers are now in. So now this is the same configuration as this. Okay, so that was pretty fun. This got turned somehow. Now this is pretty easy. This is just a matter of, these layers really don't intersect much of what we've done. So that means that, say this red and blue, turn this over here. I can simply place it up, bump it out of the way, bring it back down. So this is in. Red and blue over here. That was white and red, rather. So the way that's going to work is I'll move it into here, bring this up, move it back, bring this down. So now this is in. Okay, how about white and blue? How about this one? So I'm going to line it up like so. However, it's going to bump one of these out if I put that in, so I'm going to want to move this down, and maybe down to here where it'll match with this white and green. So bring it down. It's really just putting it in and then replacing it with something else. So bringing it down, I'm moving this into position, and bringing it up. Boom. Splat. Okay, so these are all in. So now it's just a matter of positioning. And again, I'm not really focusing on making this a tutorial. So I'm going to take this. Oh, this is the wrong green and blue. Must be another one. Yep, this one here. So this one. So I'm going to bring this down here, move this up. Nope, not even that. So it's got to be this one here. Okay, move it. Where are you going? Right here. So move this up. I seem to be confused. Green and blue. It's got to be this guy here, I suppose. So, oh yeah, it is. Move this up to put this in, and then bring this down. Okay. Now this goes up to here. Okay, bump it out of the way. This comes down, bring it in. This comes up. So this is in. Green and blue. Right here. Turn. Move this in, move this down. And finally, white. Well, green and red. It's the wrong one. This will actually come to here. So, turn, 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 turn. So this is in. And finally, these two have to exchange with something else. Okay, I created an interesting situation here. Oh no, there's this one over here. So now this one will 3-cycle with this, turn, turn, and turn, and that's the solve of this guy. How does that compare with this? Well, it might be even easier because I don't have to worry about two different colors. So too, this orange will come into this slot over here. So I'm going to move this tip, these tips here. This will come up, bring the blue one in, and this will come down. Okay, I'll put this red one in here. This red will come up, move the green one in place, move this down. Okay, this white one will come up to here, move the blue one in place, this will come down here, this white one to here. We'll move it in from this perspective because this yellow will come to here, move the yellow one in, move the white one in place, move this down, and we're easily down to the last few, I think. Yeah, so this orange will come to here, move this red in place, move this down here, and it is solved. Okay, so a neat, cute little puzzle. Basically, it's the same solve as this. it's easier in terms of putting these pieces in, all of these. The centers here were a little bit tricky, and that has to do with how to take the same algorithm but just do positioning to get it in. But once you figure it out, that's really no issue. But great puzzle. My congratulations to Timur, who did a great job of taking this and redesigning it from one platonic solid to another, which I really enjoy. And I will put this back to be used later.